This story first came to our attention a couple weeks ago. Obviously, it's been a story all year long since he showed up at the quarterback position for North Texas in his bowl game this past year in the Serve Pro First Responder Bowl against Texas State, and he balled out. And now North Texas is 8-1 this year. The quarterback of North Texas, Drew Mestemaker, kind enough to join us right here on the program.
Sir.
How are you, Drew? Good to see you, sir.
Good to see y'all too.
I mean, listen, I could ask you a whole bunch of questions about your story, but I'd love to walk our audience through it. So you're from Austin, Texas, correct, sir? That is correct?
Yes, I am.
All right. And what high school did you go to there, Drew?
I'm from Vandergrift High School.
Vandergrift High School. Okay. And you first started a game at quarterback at that high school when, Drew?
My freshman B team.
So what grade were you in when you started for your freshman B team?
I was ninth grade.
Ninth grade. Okay. So, and then the next time you started at quarterback was when, Drew?
Against Texas State in the bowl game.
There you go. See, we've set the table. So you went from freshman B team at your high school, Vandergrift High School, right, in Austin?
Yep.
To starting for your North Texas Mean Green against Texas State in the bowl game on January 3rd of this year.
Yeah.
Okay. What happened in between, Drew? Walk me through what happened in between.
Well, my sophomore year, I was on JV. I split time with another quarterback, and then my junior year, I was the backup to a kid who's now playing catcher at Baylor. And
Is that
so
Braden, is that Braden Buchanan? Braden Buchanan, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, Braden
Okay.
Buchanan.
Okay.
And then I thought senior year was going to be my year to be the starting quarterback. And then in the summer, Deuce Adams, who is now at Louisville, transferred in. And so, he ended up being the starter, and I ended up playing corner and safety for the rest of the year.
Okay. Well, I think you're being mixed up with another Zoom from your end. I don't know if there's anybody there at North Texas can help with that. Drew Mestemaker here on the Rich Eisen Show. So you were back up to one player who is a catcher now at Baylor, and then you were back up to somebody who's now the starter at Louisville, right? What were you doing in that time, Drew?
I mean, I was always training. I was, ready to be put in and get my opportunity. And, it just never came. And I was ready whenever that opportunity would happen. And, it never happened at the high school level, but I didn't let that, end my dream of being a quarterback. So, I'd say the opportunity of being here is better than getting in high school. So I'm happy.
I understand that, but you were playing other positions though, right? You weren't just standing there with a clipboard, correct?
No, I was playing safety and corner, and I played special teams. I was a punter, so I kind of just did everything I could to get on the field.
While hoping that you would get a shot at quarterback that never came as a starter in your high school. What made you walk on at North Texas then? Walk me from that to that moment.
Well, I was planning on going and playing JUCO, junior college out in California, and I was pretty dead set on that. And then, I was just kind of like training on my own, and I got an Instagram DM to go to this quarterback trainer who was going to be at Lake Travis. So I was just throwing on my own at that time. So I figured I might as well go see what it's all about. And I went with him for about a week, and then probably the third time I went to train with him, he got me in contact with Jeff Christensen, who trains Patrick Mahomes, Baker Mayfield, all those guys. And so he got me set up with Coach Morris because of that connection. And Coach Morris and Coach Brophy, the quarterback coach here, called me and said, we don't have a spot for you right now on the team, but if someone quits after spring ball, they were like, we'll have a walk-on spot for you. So yeah, that's kind of how I ended up here.
Well, and you're referring to Coach Morris, your head coach, Eric Morris, who knows a thing or two about quarterbacks as the former head coach at Incarnate Word, where he brought Cam Ward on, and then went to Washington State as an offensive coordinator where there was a kid named Mateer. So he knows quarterbacks, to say the least, and he gives you a spot to walk on to North Texas. So now walk me through last year, Drew Mestemaker, where you were just walking on, and then what happened when you walk on there?
So I showed up the summer of last year, probably as QB6 on the depth chart. And I knew I had to prove myself because they had seen nothing. I had no film. I had to prove it to myself also at that point that I belonged here. And so I just took it one day at a time and grind it every day. And, throughout the summer, we do our little summer, OTA workouts where it's like we kind of do a little football but it's more just working out. So throughout the summer, I didn't really move much. And then fall camp came around and I was still going with the young guys. So I was like getting the fours and fives reps out there. And then probably about halfway through, I'd been doing pretty good. So they moved me up and they'd sprinkle me in with some twos reps and just see how that went. And then towards the end, I really had a pretty good fall camp. And towards the end, I was splitting twos reps with the other guy that they had recruited in my class. And so we were technically like co-backups until probably about halfway through the year until I was fully the backup to Chandler.
To Chandler Morris, who went to Virginia in the portal just before your bowl game, the ServPro First Responder Bowl versus Texas State. Walk me through the moment Coach Morris told you were starting that game, Drew Mestemaker.
Well, we kind of didn't really know if Chandler was going to stay. We didn't know how that all was going to turn out. And so we had like a workout and I went down into the locker room and my phone was blowing up and all my friends were texting me and I was like, what's going on? What is this all about? And I saw Coach Morris's text and he said, come up and talk to me in my office. So I went up and it was him and our quarterback coach. They said, you're going to be starting the bowl game for us. And, that was just surreal to hear that and to, just to be in that moment. And then that same day, he also put me on scholarship. So that's the day I'll always remember.
I bet. Were you still 18 at the time, or were you 19, as you are now?
I was still 18.
18 years old. You got called into the office, and you were told, hey, your last start was freshman B as a ninth grader, but you're starting the ServPro First Responder Bowl against Texas State. And all you did, I'll say it so you don't have to crow, 448 total yards, 393 yards in the air, 2 touchdowns. And you also had a 70-yard touchdown run, down 30 to 21 to make it 30 to 28 in the late stages of that game. And then what did you do right after that run, Drew Mestemaker? Come on now. What'd you do right after? Share with everybody. Go ahead.
Yeah, I visited the trash can on the sideline real quick.
You were looking for what was in the. You left something in the trash bin, correct, Drew? Lunch?
I lost.
Was it lunch? Was it breakfast?
Was it in the trash can?
You can't make it up. You cannot make it up. But then again, what was that like for you to perform in that game? Even though you did not win, I understand you did not win, but you clearly showed you had it in that game.
Yeah, I think back to it, and I honestly don't remember a lot of it. Like it was kind of just like living on a high and just just kind of like going with the flow. I mean, I after that run, I like just blacked out, don't even remember what I was doing until I had to, visit the trash can. Um, but just to go through that and kind of have that experience and be able to show out in that opportunity, it something I'll always remember.
And you still had to win the job this summer, which you did. The team is now 8-1, by the way, guys. Um, you look at your stat lines, and I understand, again, it's a team effort. 8-1 is what you're most proud of, and I understand that, okay? And as well you should. You had, against Charlotte, a 608-yard passing game. Drew, did you wake up, dangerous that day like Baker Mayfield? What was that day like for you?
Um, well, I don't know if I woke up dangerous. I think as a whole team, we did not wake up dangerous that game. We kind of came out pretty slow, and but I think just having the guys that'll go out there and make plays, I got to give credit where credit's due. I threw a 3-yard pass and one of my receivers took it 70. So, having guys that'll go out there and make plays and, just, you're always on the same page as them, and it makes it easier to, I guess have a game like that.
And plus, you're going through the armed forces, man. You took down Army in overtime in Game 4 this year, and you just beat Navy, Drew.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any service members in your family at all?
I mean, my one of my grandpas served, but
Okay.
they're, they're still Mean Green fans.
I bet. Well, you're serving it up on the armed forces. That is for sure. So, to what do you owe your abilities and resilience and waiting and the ability to make the most of an opportunity like you're clearly doing right now, Drew Mestemaker?
Obviously I'd say my mom has, been by my side the entire time. She's known how badly I've wanted to play and be on the field, but she's still been with me no matter how the journey looked. But also, I've had some really good mentors and guys who have, been through it, played at the college level, played in the CFL. Um, his name's Dakota Prukop. He's kind of been by my side the whole time, and always talked me through the ups and downs, and just waiting for my moment, because he's known and he's had confidence in me too that I could make the most of my opportunity. So I'm thankful for those two people, as long as everyone who's supported me along the way.
And again, if you don't mind, again, you're obviously a humble 19-year-old making the most of an opportunity. But if you don't mind throwing your humility away for just a moment, who have you heard from? Drop a name. Who maybe from your coaches Rolodex, North Texas? Anybody from your throwing coaches Rolodex who has reached out to you, or you've reached out to them as a mentor, or anything like that to get you to the level that you're at right now and improving, Drew?
I mean, Jeff Christensen has probably been the biggest, change since I've been here. I feel like I've, grown a lot as a quarterback, and just he's kind of connected me with a bunch of people. I met, Cam Ward coming through here just because he loves Coach Morris, and meeting him is crazy to, you know, you're watching him on TV, and then he's in here the next day. So it's crazy to see that. And you know, I've trained with Patrick Mahomes. I've watched, the whole Chiefs team throw, and just to see all that, it's crazy.
And what did Mahomes, did you pick his brain at any point in time?
No, I didn't get to.
You just left him alone?
Yeah, I just watched him work, and I feel like that's kind of what's gotten me to where I am, just learning and taking things from watching people work and how they operate and just kind of implementing it into my own.
And what is your ultimate goal?
To be an NFL quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Man,
Speak it.
Yeah, speak it. You're honestly, to go from freshman B to a bowl game to being a starter for a team that's currently on the outside, just on the outside in another receiving vote of a top 25 of college football rankings at the outset of November. What a monstrous achievement you've already got. And I wish you the luck moving forward. And it's so great to meet you. I mean, what is your message to others out there who might be in the sound of our voice right now, wondering if they're going to get a shot? What would be your message to those kids at the prep level, collegiate level, or anywhere, Drew Mestemaker?
I would say you can't be the first one to give up on yourself. You got to have confidence in yourself. You can't, if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. And so I'd say believe in yourself and believe that when you get that opportunity, you'll make the most of it.
Sir, what a pleasure to meet you. You are you're awesome to watch play, and we had to have you on. We had to have you on and pick your brain and see what your story is. And thanks for sharing it. And we will be keeping our eye on you moving forward. So look for more of our calls.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Same to you, Drew Mestemaker,
awesome.
North Texas Mean Green quarterback,
Good
right
luck,
here
man.
on the Rich Eisen Show. Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.